Ram Ram Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today is Friday. It is 5th of July and it is Ashadha Masa or Vamana Masa, Krishna Paksha, Amavasya Tithi. So there are two events today. So one is the disappearance day of Srila Sachidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakura, and also another event is the disappearance day of Sri Gadadhara Pandita, the fourth member of the Panchratva. So we shall read a few lines from the special Vaishnava days. So Bhakti Vinod Thakura, the spiritual master of Srila Gaurakishore Dasa Babaji Maharaja and the father of Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami. So and also today is the fasting until afternoon. So the more recent Acharya representatives from the disciplic succession at the Brahma Madhva Gaudi Sampradaya from Srila Prabhupada's introduction to Bhagavad Gita as it is. 20th member is Madhavendra Puri, 21 is Ishwar Puri, Nityananda Advaita, 22 Lord Chaitanya, 23 Rupa Goswami, Swarupa Damodara Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, 24 Raghunatha Goswami, Jiva Goswami, 25 Krishnadasa Goswami, and 26 Narottama Dasa Goswami, 27 Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, 28 Baladeva Vidhyabhushana and Jagannath Dasa Babaji, and 29 Bhakti Vinod Thakura, 30 Gauri Keshwara Dasa Babaji, 31 Bhakti Dhanta Saraswati, 32 Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. So we can learn a great deal about His Divine Grace, Srila Sachidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakura from this lecture Prabhupada gave on his appearance day in London, September 23, 1969. Prabhupada, bring water, water, water. So today is a very auspicious day, Thakura Bhakti Vinoda's birthday. Here is the picture of Thakura Sachidananda Bhakti Vinoda. He was one of the acharyas of this disciplic succession from Krishna. We have got a succession table from Krishna genealogical table. There are two kinds of genealogical tables. One by the seminar, father, his son like that. That is material genealogical table. And the other is one spiritual genealogical table, disciplic succession. Just like Krishna, the original father, supreme personality of Godhead, he spoke the Vedic knowledge to Brahma, and the Lord Brahma, he spoke to Narada. Narada spoke to Vyasa spoke to Madhvacharya. So in this disciplic succession, Lord Chaitanya, from Lord Chaitanya, the 6 Goswamis, and similarly coming down to Bhakti Vinod Thakura. Then Gaura Kishore Dasa Babaji Maharaja. Then my spiritual master. Then we are next generation, my disciples. So there is a disciplic succession. And the Acharyas, they are authorities. Our process of knowledge is very simple. We take it from the authority, we don't speculate. Speculation will not help us to come to this real knowledge. Just like when we are in the difficulty in legal implication, we go to the some authority, lawyer. When we are deceased, we go to the physician, the authority. There is no use speculation. Suppose I am in difficulty in some legal implication, I simply speculate. I shall be free this way, in this way, and that way. That will not help. We have to go to the lawyer who knows things, and he gives us instruction that you do not do this, then you will be free. Similarly, when we are deceased, if I speculate at home that my disease will be cured in this way and that way, no, that is useless. You have to go to authorized physician, and he will give you nice prescription, and you will be cured. That is the process of knowledge. But in the modern age, people think that I am free, I am independent, and I can make my own solution. That is rascaldom. That's not good. So Arjuna, when he was talking with Krishna as friend, but when he saw that there was no solution talking like this, he surrendered to Krishna. He said, Shishyasteham. Just get started. So, yeah, Shishyasteham Shadimam Prapannam. Prapannam means surrender. So, that is the Vedic injunction that if you want to know transcendental knowledge or science, transcendental means beyond the scope of your direct perception. So, spiritual knowledge is beyond the scope of our sense speculation, beyond the scope. Just like when a soul, a spiritual spark only leaves this body, you cannot see it. Therefore, atheistic class of men, they speculate. There may be a soul, there may not be soul, or the bodily function was going like this. Now it stopped. The blood corpuscles now cease. It is no more red. It is white, therefore life. These are the speculations. This is not actual knowledge. Actual knowledge you get from the authority, Krishna. He says, Tada dehantar praptihi dhirastatra namuhyati. Just like the soul is passing through different stages, Dehinosmin yata dehe, deha. Deha means this body. Asmin dehe, in this body. There is dehi. Dehi means who is the owner of this body, that is soul. That is passing through childhood, boyhood, babyhood, youthhood, old age. Everyone can perceive that you are a child, you are a baby, you are a boy. Now you are young or old man. You are there. So you are passing through different types of bodies. Similarly, when you give up this body, you accept another body. What is the difficulty? Tada dehantar praptihi dir satrana mukhyati. There is no question of becoming astonished. How transmigration of self, soul takes place. The vivid example is here. Simply you require little intelligence. That intelligence is developed through the instruction of Acharya. Okay, there is further about um, explanations of this one. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is an ideal guru. He was not a sannyasi. He was grihastha, householder, living his family life, children. Still, he was guru. So anyone can become guru. Not a sannyasi can become guru. A householder also can become guru, provided he knows the science. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was talking with Ramanandaraya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a sannyasi, very highly born in the Brahmana family, very learned scholar. So he was talking with Ramanandaraya, a Grihastha, governor of Madras, and he was questioning, and Ramanandaraya was answering. So there is further information which I have shared it. So Bhaktivinoda Thakura was Grihastha, very responsible officer, magistrate, and he was exalted that he would come from his office generally at 5 o'clock, then take his supper and immediately go to bed immediately, say at 7 o'clock in the evening. He goes to bed and he wakes up 12 o'clock. So suppose he goes to bed at 7 o'clock in the evening and wakes up 12 o'clock at night. It is sufficient sleep, 5 hours. One should not sleep more than 5 to 6 hours. Minimize as far as possible. The Goswamis used to sleep not more than 1.5 hour or 2 hours. Sleeping is not very important thing. Even big politicians, they used to sleep for 2 hours. So, especially in spiritual life, they should minimize as far as possible eating, sleeping, mating, defending. So, minimize gradually, it comes to nil. So, this is the ideal Grihastha life that Bhaktivinoda Thakur has exhibited in his life. So, that is about the Bhaktivinoda Thakur and also disappearance day of the Gadadhar Pandita. He is the fourth member of the Panchatattva. And also Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given the information on the other anarthas, summary of the demons and the anarthas they represent. And from the Gadadhar Pandita's disappearance day. So the fourth branch is described as incarnation of the pleasure potency of Sri Krishna. No one therefore can equal him. From Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela Chapter 16. The Lord's attempt to go to Vrindavana. When Gadadhara Pandita started to go with the Lord, he was forbidden to come and was asked not to give up the vow of Kshetra Sannyasa. When one takes a Kshetra Sannyasa, he leaves his household life and goes to a place of pilgrimage devoted to Lord Vishnu. Such places include Purushottama, Jagannath Puri, Navadvipa Dhama, and Madhura Dhama, like that. The Kshetra Sannyasi lives in these places alone or with his family. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur considers Kshetra Sannyasa to be the preferable Vanaprastha situation in this age of Kali. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya lived in this way, and he has been called a Kshetra Sannyasi, that is, a sannyasi living in Jagannath Puri. When he was requested to return to Jagannath Puri, Gadadhar Pandita told the Lord, wherever um, you are staying in Jagannath Puri, let my so-called Kshetra Sannyasa go to hell. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Gadadhara Pandita to remain at Jagannath Puri and engage in Gopinada's service, Gadadhara Pandita replied, one renders service to the Gopinada a million times simply by seeing your lotus feet. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then said, if you abandon his service, it will be my fault. It is better that you remain here and render service. That will be my satisfaction. But the Pandita replied, do not worry, all the faults will be on my head. I shall not accompany you but shall go alone. I shall go to see Sachi Mata, but I shall not go for your sake. I shall be responsible for the abandoning of my vow and service to Gopinada. Thus Gadadhar Pandita Goswami traveled alone, but when they all arrived at Kataka, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called him and he went into the Lord's company. No one can understand the loving intimacy between Gadadhar Pandita and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Gadadhar Pandita gave up his vow and service to Gopinada just as one gives up a piece of star. There is further information about this very beautiful pastimes which is shared in the group. So dear devotees, kindly go through that one. That is from the events perspective. So we shall quickly enter into Srimad Bhagavatam. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय हरे कृष्ण. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Lord Brahma, he has been speaking to Narada Muni about the Virata Rupa form, and also within the form of the Lord, all the 14 planet systems exist. He spoke that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the source of everything, even for his existence. Even he is created and everything else, and whatever Brahma is creating, everything it is a secondary creation. So likewise, he was answering to all the questions, whatever Narada Muni he was raising. He was asking from the beginning. Yad drupam yadadisthanam yataha srustamidam prabho yat samstam yat param yatcha tat tat padam vada tatpataha. So, oh my dear father, oh Lord Brahma, please kindly explain everything. Yad drupam yadadisthanam sarvam hetat bhavan veda bhota bhavya bhavat prabhu. Paramalakavad Vishwam Vijnana Avasitam Tava. So you know everything just like a gooseberry in the hand. Likewise, you know all about the knowledge and the creation and the supreme personality of Godhead. So after that, Brahma has explained everything until the 14 planetary systems they are existed. Now, Brahma, so now that with that one, chapter 5th is completed. Fifth chapter is completed of second canto. And now entering into the sixth chapter. This is the chapter name is the Purusha Sukta confirmed. This is the Purusha Sukta. From the Vedas there is a Purusha Sukta, the hymn, Vedic hymn. It is chanted whenever the Lord is being worshipped, Archana in the temples. For example, in the Tirumala temple, whenever the Lord is being worshipped or doing Abhisheka Archana, at that time this kind of Purusha Sukta is chanted there. So this is the chapter name Purusha Sukta Nirdharana. Here the Brahma is saying that from the Virat Rupas of the face, from his body, the first thing is the mouth. where the Agni Deva has come and the fire, and also he is speaking. Next is the Sapta Dhatu, beginning from the skin. These are all the sources of all the Vedic hymns. Sapta Dhatu. So one is the face, that is the mouth, and from where the Agni is emanated, and from the skin and the six other dhatu, they are the source of the all the Vedic hymns. And then his tongue, it is the center point for all the foods offering to the demigods, forefathers, and everything. And also, um, it is the center point to taste. So likewise, Brahma started speaking about to go very brief, describe more in detail about the Purusha. So we are in the second canto, chapter 6, verse number 1. Shri Brahma Uvacham Vacham Vahnermukham Ketram Chandasam Saptadatavaham Havyakavya Amrutanam Amruta Annanam Jihva Sarvarasasya Cha Vacham Vahnermukham Ketram Vacham Vahner Mukham Khetram. So Vacha is um, the voice. So Brahma is saying Vacham Vahnehe. So from the voice, Vahne is the fire, Mukham Khetram, and from the Mukham is the mouth, Khetram, Khetram is the generating center. So from the mouth, the fire has emanated. And Chandasam Saptadatavaha, and all the Vedic hymns such as Gayatri, and they're all Saptadatavaha. Saptadatavaha are the seven dhatus, starting from the skin, and six other dhatus are the layers. Therefore, they exist for the Vedic hymns. Havya Kavya Amruta Annanam. Havya Kavya is the offerings for the demigods and forefathers. Amruta Annanam, and foodstuffs for the human beings, and all kinds of foodstuffs. Amruta Annanam. Jihva Sarva Rasasya Cha, and for all these things, the tongue. The tongue is the center point. Sarva all Rasasya Cha, and of all the delicacies. It tastes different things, all the foodstuffs. Likewise, Brahma is saying, Vacham Vahnir Mukham Khetram Chandasam Saptadatavaha Havya Kavya Amruta Annanam Jihva Sarva Rasasya Cha. So, translation for this verse, Lord Brahma said, the mouth of the Virat Purusha, the universal form of the Lord, is the generating center of the voice, and the controlling deity is fire. His skin and six other layers are the generating centers of the Vedic hymns, and his tongue is the productive center of different foodstuffs and delicacies for offering to the demigods, the forefathers, and the general mass of people. And purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request Saranya Mataji to read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna. The opulence of the material form of the Lord are described herein. It is said that his mouth is the generating center of all kind of voices, and its controlling deity is the fire demigod. And his skin and other six layers of bodily construction are the representative generating centers of the seven kind of Vedic hymns, like Gayatri. Gayatri is the beginning of all Vedic mantras, and it is explained in the first volume of Srimad Bhagavatam. Since the generating centers are the different parts of the universal form of the Lord, and since the form of Lord is transcendental to the material creation, it is to be understood that the voice, the tongue, the skin, etc., suggest that the Lord in his transcendental form is not without them. The material voice or the energy of taking in footstep is generated originally from the Lord. Such actions are but perverted reflections of the original reservoirs. The transcendental situation is not without spiritual variegateness. In the spiritual world, all the perverted form of material variegateness are fully represented in their original spiritual identity. The only difference is that material activities are contaminated by three modes of material nature, whereas the potencies in the spiritual world are all pure because they are engaged in the unalloyed transcendental loving service of the Lord. In the spiritual world, the Lord is the sublime enjoyer of everything, and the living entities there are all engaged in his transcendental loving service without any contamination of the modes of material nature. The activities in the spiritual world are without any of the difficulties of the material world, but there is no question of impersonal voidness on the spiritual platform as suggested by the impersonalist. Devotional service is defined in the Narada Pancharatra as follows. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparattvena nirmalam Hrishikena Hrishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyade. Originally, since all the Vedic senses are produced of the Lord's reservoir of senses, the sensual activities of the material world are to be purified by the process of devotional service, and thus the perfection of life can be attained simply by purifying the present position of our material activities. And the purifying process begins from the stage of being liberated from the conception of different designations. Every living entity is engaged in some sort of service, either for the self or for the family or for the society, country, etc. But unfortunately, all such services are rendered due to material attachment. The attachment of the material affinity may be simply changed to the service of the Lord, and thus the treatment of being freed from material attachment begins automatically. The process of liberation is therefore easier through devotional service than by any other methods. For in the Bhagavad Gita 12.5, it is said that one is subjected to various kinds of tribulations if one is impersonally attached. Klesho adhikataras tesham avyakta chedasam. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so here this is the Purusha Sukta in the first verse. So Prabhupada is explaining about the in the Virat Rupa form from his mouth the controlling fire god is generated along generating center of all kinds of voices. And also this one we have seen on the other picture. So Vishwarupa form. What are the and this is also clearly explained in the third canto by Kapila Bhagavan, but we will go into the those details in another day whenever there is a less purport and more time is there. And here Prabhupada is explaining, so Gayatri is the beginning of all the Vedic mantras, it is explained. So here it is the part of the skin of the Virat Rupa form, skin and other six. That is the place where all Vedic mantras are generating from. Since generating centers are different parts of the universal form of the Lord, and since the form of the Lord is transcendental to material creation. So this is Chandam Syasya Tvachi Barhi Romasu Adhyam Drushi Twanglushi Chaturhotram Varaha. It is a Yajnavaraha's form. There also Chandam Syasya Tvachi. Tvachi is the skin. Barhi Romasu Adhyam Drushi Angrushi Chaturhotram. His legs are the Chaturhotram. Adhyam Drushi, the pouring of the ghee in the oblations in the fire. It is a Drushi, the eyesight. So that is explained there. In the Varaha form's explanation, and here it is to be understood that voice, the tongue, the skin, etc. suggest that Lord in his transcendental form is not without them. So here explaining, stressing that Lord has got a form. And the energy of taking in the foodstuff is generated originally from the Lord. Such actions are perverted reflections of the original reservoirs. So here the Virat Rupa form, previously we understand it is the imaginary. Etadrupam Bhagavato hi arupasi chidatmanaha maya guneri vidichitam mahadadi viratmani. This is Maya Guner Viristam. This is the imaginary form. But actually, if Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in the Chaitanya Charitamrita mentioned the conversations between Sanatana Goswami and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explaining, so there are three incarnations, Guna incarnations, Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara. And while explaining about later on, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, who is in this universe as the lying in the water. And coming to Kshirodak Sai Vishnu, because he is the super soul of all the living entities, and he resides as a four-handed form. He is one of situated in the top planet Satyaloka. Of Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, they are situated in the Satyaloka. That is also explained. Here, that Kshirodak Sai Vishnu is also sometimes considered as Virata Rupa. So that is mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela and chapter 20, verse number 290 to 295. There it is explained. Kshirodak Sai Vishnu sometimes considered as Virata, because here Virata is understood as the Kalpita, Maya Gunar Virijitam. So that is when Krishna exhibited his universal form in front of Arjuna, and then after coming down to the four-handed form, that is again Kshirodaksai Vishnu. That is where we see it. So this is from Bhagavad Gita and Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains that. So Virat Rupa sometimes, Kshirodak Sai Vishnu sometimes considered as Virat Rupa. So here also we understand that one. Brahma also is saying to Narada Muni. And then here Prabhupada is stressing about the variegatedness. Again, whenever it comes to the personal form and all other variegatedness, it goes on. And Prabhupada is explaining about to understand that personal form, one has to completely free from all material activities. Sarvopanadi vinirmuk, sarvopa, sarva upadi vinirmuktam, all kinds of material detachments. And tat paratvena nirmalam, and just for the sake of paratvena, for the beyond this material conception. Nirmalam. Hrishikena Hrishikesha Sevanam Bhakti. When we engage all the senses onto the Hrishikesha, then it is called the Bhakti. And then Prabhupada is explaining all about this personal conception here. One has to render his services to the Supreme Lord. If otherwise, if one takes to the impersonal Brahman, it is only Kleshodikatarastesham Objecta Sakta Chetsam. It is only tribulations, all kinds of material tribulations. So we are materially embodied. It is very difficult for us to conceive impersonal feature of the Lord. And then Prabhupada is stressing that one has to render service to the Supreme Lord as in the deity form. He has appeared like a deity. In fact, he is everywhere. He is a super soul. He is complete. We are part of the Supreme Lord. There is no part which is where there is no Lord. We are part of the Lord. So when the Lord is there personally from the Vedic injunctions as he is, it is our advantage to take that advantage and take flowers, water, patram, pushpam, palam, toyam, yo me bhakta prechiti, tadaham bhakti asnami, bhakti upahutam asnami prayetatmanaha. When one is doing such kind of endeavor, the Lord will be very pleased. Otherwise, this is for the beginning stages of a neophyte devotee. If a devotee is advanced, he understands that that Supreme Lord, Tadatma Sarvabhota Hrudayam, Bhutatmanam Krutalayam, Arahya Dhanamanabhyam, Arahya Dhanamanabhyam. We have to respect each and every living entity by giving respect. Arahya Dhanamanabhyam. Abhinena Maitriyacha. So thinking that they are not different from me, like that. So a cat, a dog, anything, giving the same respect to everyone. This is the Panditaha Samadarshinaha. So that is how we see the Lord. In fact, Lord is everywhere. But for the neophyte devotee, in the beginning, it is advised and to the deity worship and go there and worship, and whenever he got knowledge, completely understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then he doesn't have any rules for him, but still he will follow because he's in the Viri Bhakti, Raga Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti, and then Prema Madhurya. So those things he will be elevated further on. But in the beginning, all the rules are to be followed. Okay, so but here in this age of Kali, if we go alone, again we are be vulnerable to the material nature. Kali and Maya both will devour us. So it is always better to stay among the devotees and execute devotional service. So likewise, Prabhupada is explaining here, and Brahma is saying about the different parts of the Lord, how they are coming, different Agni, and also this Vedic hymns and the tongue, how they are sources for different things. Vacham Bahirmukam Khetram Chandasam Sapta Dhatavaha Havya Kavya Amrita Annanam Jihva Sarva Rasasya Cha. Likewise, Brahma started speaking. So we shall explore further in the future days. That is from Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall quickly move to Srila Prabhupada's letter today. Okay, today letter to Gopala Krishna. Can you request any unallocated devotees to read this letter? Anyone would like to read this letter?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. My dear Gopala Krishna, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated 3rd of March 1970 and have noted the contents. Regarding publication of French Back to Godhead, for the present, you are doing very excellently. My point is that BTG in French language must come out even regularly. So you are fulfilling my desire in that way. So far, our Paris center is concerned, it is not yet started. At last, Sam Sundara and George Harrison have gone there to find out a place. It may be by the grace of the Lord, the center will be started now. There are many big schemes about our European preaching work, specifically advancing the Sankirtana movement and publishing our literatures. But nothing has yet taken a practical shape. Under this circumstance, whatever you are doing is for the good. So until something practical is taking place in Paris, you continue to do this work. This is a great service to the Lord. I'm very much pleased with your endeavor. Now, regarding sending me money, I thank you very much that you are always eager to spend for Krishna. And Krishna will give you more and more opportunities to utilize your hard-earned money for Krishna's service. Now, the offense which you are holding appears to be very nice. So I do not think you can get a better job in India. But somehow or other, if you get a chance to return to India, an official business of your present employer, that will be very nice. Regarding our Indian centers, we are experiencing some bright glints because in Calcutta, as informed to you by Achyutananda, we may get a nice plot of land. So you can save money as much as possible for constructing buildings or temples in India. The money saved in this connection either may be kept by you under separate fixed deposit in the bank or may be sent to me for future utilization. I have sent money already to Achyutananda for purchasing a piece of land in Mayapur. That is not yet completed. Under these circumstances, no more money should be sent to India directly by you. I'm very glad to learn that you have prepared one long article for sending to the Illustrated Weekly of India. That is very nice. And if possible, write some further articles either in Hindi or English for being published in India. Perhaps you have already noted that I have closed my account with the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce. So whatever money you want to pay me may be sent by direct check in my favor. You do not require to spend any more money for deity because deity is already coming. Everything is arranged in India. You simply see that temple worship and other things are going on regularly and nicely. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji?
Prabhu, the takeaway points would be Srila Prabhupada has emphasized here the importance of spending whatever we have got, be it our money, because nothing happens without the approval of Krishna. So whatever money when we have got, whatever opulence, whatever little opulence in any in any aspect, be it money, be it our body, be it our mind, whatever it is, we should employ this in Krishna service. And also, Srila Prabhupada has stressed the point about building temples in Paris and back to Godhead magazines to be published over there, so that everybody can get an opportunity to come into Krishna consciousness, to get into Krishna consciousness. And another point would be, is the very elaborate organizational skill of Srila Prabhupada about the expenditure, where to spend and what time, and that was very, very nice. I think, Prabhu, that's it from me. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, for kindly summarizing this. Any other points, dear devotees, you wanted to add? Okay, so that is from Prabhupada's letter, and Prabhupada is saying, but there is one point giving to, you do not have to resign your job. When you get a chance, you can go to India. This is Tani Siddhikatan, Tanu Tanuvan Manobhi. Wherever you are situate and then execute devotional service. That is one point here. And Prabhupada is trying to establish more and more temples and taking the all help wherever it is coming from. And yeah, Mataji has summarized nicely. Okay, that is from this Prabhupada's letter. And dear devotees, if you have got any other points, add this. And from the announcements point of view, so tomorrow, Saturday morning, we have got again Bhagavatam, Vaikuntha description, and tomorrow evening, our Bhagavad Gita session, but that is teachings of Lord Chaitanya by Krishna Keshav Prabhuji at 7 p.m. Yeah, those are upcoming events. Dear devotees, if you have got any other updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Normally, usually end of the chapter, you do the total recitation as well. So chapter 5 of
Yeah.
so that's also.
Yes, Mataji, thank you. And also, yes, tomorrow recitation is there. I'll send a poll as well for 7 devotees to participate. That is before the Bhagavatam Vaikuntha description. And dear devotees, if you are like to participating in reciting, so kindly vote it. Any other updates, dear devotees, you wanted to share?
Things in evening there's a program of like for Bhakti Vinod, like in an evening there's drama and like prasadam and all the program. If anybody wants to join temple.
Is that today evening, Mataji?
Yes, today evening.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji, for the update. Any other events or any updates? Or we shall conclude and continue with further japa. Okay. पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनन्तकोटिवैष्णववृन्द की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण। कॉन्शियस डे एवरीवन।
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण।